Hi everybody, it's Anne the Purple Goddess. I'm here at Purple Goddess Enterprises doing my weekly tarot card teaching, and the tarot is about symbolic language, and we've got a great card today that I'm really enjoying it, and I hope I can convey a great message to you as well. So here's a shout out again to all of us wonderful Cancerians that are having birthdays. My birthday's this week, so I treated myself to a new sparkle jacket. I hope you like it. And I wanted to show you these beautiful fairy earrings. Aren't they beautiful? And from my friend Heather a long time ago. They're just really, really beautiful. And apparently no fairy died in the making of these earrings. So fairy blessings to you. And here's my magic wand, purple gloves. And are you ready for the teaching today? Here it is. Now this card, tapping it, this card comes from the Major Arcana, and it's at the end of the heroine or hero's cycle. Before the last card's the world card, before we start the cycle again. And so at the end of, our cycle, the old teaching, or the teaching that I grew up with, was when we die, we're going to be judged. And, there's going to be a trumpet blowing, and people are going to be in their coffins. And if they've lived a good life, the angel's going to blow the trumpet, and they're going to rise up out of their coffin, and they're going to go to heaven. That's what I grew up with. This card is a metaphorical teaching of the Last Judgment. And surprise, surprise, it's called the Judgment. So this is really, this is a fascinating card because it's about the great awakening each and every day that we make, and that the judgment is not something that comes necessarily at the end of our life, although we probably will be judging ourselves. It's about the judgments and decisions we make every day. And so I invite you to think about reimagining the judgment and the decisions that you make every day. And because we're in this great awakening with the pandemic, aren't we? And one of the new teachings that come from the shamans, the holy people in Aboriginal culture, First Nations culture, is that under capitalism, we've got things all wrong. Under capitalism, we're told, make it to the top of the pyramid and be as successful as possible. Make a lot of money and just be successful. Well, first of all, we know having a lot of money doesn't mean that you're happy. But what they say is we need to turn that teaching upside down and think about every decision we make, how it is going to affect 7 generations. So the order of things in terms of the judgment calls that we make on a daily basis are: number 1, how does this decision affect the planet, Mother Earth? So this has huge implications for what kind of car we drive, if we should even be driving a car, and how we fuel our house, and what we eat, and what we drink. So those are decisions around Mother Earth, number 1. And number 2 is, how is my decision going to affect my immediate community? And then my family, and then myself. So if we reverse the order, instead of placing ourself as number 1, and we place the earth as number 1, and we're constantly thinking about 7 generations, good karma comes to us. And ironically, or paradoxically, we're likely to be successful, right? So that's the first thing about judgment and the Great Awakening. Now, let's have a really good look at this card. There are 7 figures in this card. There are 3 people in a coffin. There are 3 people in coffins over there, and there's the angel. Now, you are all 7 parts of this card. All right, so let's take a look at what that might mean. So the 3 figures over there, the smaller figures in the picture, are sort of what I would describe as the crowd of witnesses that we have in our life, the parts of ourselves different parts of ourselves that judge us on a daily basis, right? The little voices that we have inside of ourselves, and they're a witness to what we're doing. And sometimes they say, oh, Anne, that's just like a terrible decision you made, and kind of those crowd of witnesses within yourself. Also within ourself are, here's a man standing out of his coffin, and this represents our masculine energy. There's a child and a woman, and the woman represents feminine energy, and the child within us represents our inner child. And so part of the judgment card is learning to integrate all these different energies within us so that we can be called to account for our higher self, because we're also the angel. All right, so this is about, letting these parts of ourselves be integrated. It's about clearing out the clutter in our life, empty the cupboards, fling the coffin open in your life, stand up. It's about rising out of the coffin into your higher self. And the great awakening of 2020 is rising up to be our higher self. And what is the higher self? The higher self is finding that divine spark within us, right? And being connected to our source. And I'm working a lot with this concept of my higher self. I recently had a conversation with a friend, and I said, I could make a decision based on the lower energies of my life, but I'm going to make a decision and a judgment call on my higher self. And the higher self's about love, right? It's about love. It's about forgiveness. When we forgive other people, we're freeing ourselves. We're not forgiving what they've done to us, but we're not letting it affect us anymore because, we're rising up to be all that we can be and to be a new person. The color on the flag, on the trumpet, is orange. And I associate orange with the word courage. It takes a lot of courage to rise up out of our life, out of our coffin, And but this card is an invitation for you to think about rising up, making some new decisions, and letting go of the past, and healing and integrating the masculine and feminine energies. It's okay to give, it's okay to receive, it's okay to heal inner wounds that we have from childhood. Let them go because they no longer serve us, right? And it's about becoming, letting a new self emerge. So where are you going to rise up now and allow for a new beginning? So the teaching on this card is become one with your source, with the angelic part of you. And the angels that are all around us are helping us, right? The fairies maybe. And wake up every day to mobilize some new energies within you. And be open to receive the dawn of what is to come. Be open to receive the dawn of what is to come, because this card is about a new paradise. And let's hope that in 2020, our planet and all of us, are going to have the opportunity to put Mother Earth first, our community second, our family third, ourselves last, in the service of creating a new day, a new paradise on earth, and good karma comes. So, good luck. Let yourself rise from the dead. Be a new person. Blessed be till we meet again. Bye-bye.